What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again tonight. We got a 2020 with 12,000 miles on it, and this particular truck was not built with the cold weather package, but tonight we are going to add that cold weather package and show you the parts and how to do it. Watch this video and see if this is something you want to add to your 2020. All right, guys, let's go. Like those tires, but today we're not here for those tires. But tonight we're going to be installing this block heater element and this block heater cord. The part numbers for your 2020 are going to be that for the cord and that for your element. And this is all the element is. It does come with a O-ring and FOMO code number 1, baby. And there are no directions to install the cord. I have referenced mine and pretty much know the configuration of where it's supposed to go, doing the recalls for the 17s and 18s that were out to update the 2-piece cord to the 1-piece cord. So I got the gist of it. I remember one of the last videos that I had made doing the cold weather install on another Super Duty. A commenter suggested that I use the vacuum fill to hold vacuum on the cooling system so I don't make that much of a mess, and I can take the plug out and then put the element in right above the starter here on the passenger side. Now, I have not done that before, and I'm willing to give it a try. I do have this kit that we are going to use, and this is the snap-on airlift component. I don't know if you guys have ever used this, but I have used it on pretty much the 4 cylinders, the 3-liter diesel. I never really use it for the Super Duties because there's no real need to bleed the air out. It just pretty much bleeds itself. So I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to show you guys what this entails, and I'm going to leave the vacuum sit on it, lift it up, and we are going to install the block heater element. Okay, so I've got it hooked up. I got the fitting that you install onto valve here that is in the degas model, and I hooked up the airline, and right here is a button that I'm going to depress, and it is going to start to create a vacuum in the cooling system. See if I can do it with one hand. There we go. That's all you do. You pretty much go, excuse the noise, you pretty much go until the gauge doesn't move anymore. And you see we have full sealing in our cooling system, otherwise this needle would be bleeding down into the red. So what I'm going to do is just going to disconnect our air. Okay, going to get this out of the way. Okay, you can see it's still staying. I understand the theory in my head. Like I said, I've never done it before, so I am going to. You guys can see where the level is in the bottle. You can see the gauge. So we are going to get this thing lifted up. I'm going to I'm thinking about really taking out the fender liner just to get some more access. I don't like taking out these fender liners, but for accessibility and to show you guys, I think that's what I'm going to do. Tools you're going to need. I don't know if anybody has this, but there is a pretty big plug in the block, and it is going to be a 14 mil Allen. I use this on some other applications on our gasolines, but you are going to need a big Allen in order to get this out. So if you can't find one, get one. It's going to be a 1/2-inch drive. I'm going to use this big long breaker bar just to bust it loose, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, I got the fender liner out. Another thing I like to do when I am not messing with the wheel liners, as I don't like to lay them on the floor because then they just wind up getting all floppy. Lay that boy over the back tire, keep its original shape, and then you guys aren't fighting it putting it back in. Note to everybody, when you're removing them, you have 3 of these, which is 1, 2, 3. So once you get those 3 out, then you have these 4, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have these 2 small ones right here, 1, 2. This circle thing here on this stud, kind of a pain to get off, but it came off. And then lastly, you have this trim clip holding the liner in right here. What I did and I found most helpful was I got the front out and I pushed it in to get the lip out, worked its way around. It aided in getting the side for this off, and then I had 3 push pins that you have to remove from the inside. So as soon as you get it dropped down like this, you just stick your trim tool in and whoop, 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 and then you get it removed. Once you get it out, you guys can see you have a line and a harness here. What I usually do is just pop the hose out of this and get it out of my way so I don't see it. I don't want to look at it. Get this thing out the way too. So now all I see is my plug. And let me get the 14 mil Allen. You guys can see how that's gonna go right in like that. I wonder if I could get just a 1/2 inch right here, if I could swing. I haven't tried. I don't know. I can't tell if my thumb right here has got enough room for the actual ratchet. If this thing was just a little shorter, but overall length for the gasoline ones, I like using this. So I'm going to break this free, and then I'm going to get right back on here and we're going to take it out together. Right. I successfully broke it loose, and I got, just my foot long 1/2 inch ratchet, and actually I stood it up right here and just used my pry bar and pried against it, and I got it loose enough that I can turn it with my hand. Now I still have the vacuum on here. I don't know how fast this is going to happen. I've never done it this way, so we're both going to see if having a vacuum on it isn't going to make that big of a mess. But I am, for the sake of argument, going to screw that all the way out and just drop it right here into the catch basin, and I am going to have the element primed. So I'll put the element right here, and I'm going to take this out, guys. You're going to see if this is, let me move the light. Let's get some better lightage here. Okay, here we go. Almost out. Okay, here it hits them. There it goes. O-ring's out. Okay. Didn't make too bad of a mess. Do be prepared to catch some escaping fluid. And I would, however, like to find that plug really quick. Okay, I found the plug. Fell down behind the starter, but I just wanted to make sure its O-ring was off. So that's how big that sucker is. This was successful. I like the way the gentleman has suggested it. Now to tighten it, it is actually the socket that I use to take the 6.7 fuel filter cap off, the lower one, and it's a 32 mil. I'm going to go ahead. All this was done one-handed, so not too bad. Let's see if we can get this tight. Tighten ratchet. Ooh, that coolant is slippery. Okay, I'm on. I'm gonna get just a little extension on here. I'm starting to hit the head. So, there we go. And give it a snug here. I'm gonna do another little pry action against the block here. And we're just gonna snug it, and we're gonna get back to installing the cable. All right, so this brings us to the last step, and that's installing the cable. I have gone ahead and already installed some Motorcraft electrical grease, and I currently have brake cleaned the whole affected area. So what you want to do is the hose and stuff and the cabling that you moved earlier, we're going to move back to where it was. Just figure out which way it was twisted. Like this. And you got one right here. Okay, so once those are on, now you're gonna ask yourself, where is this gonna plug in? Our first locating tab is actually right here. Here's our locating tab. This is the end that's plugging into the engine. This is the first tab. So what I'm gonna do is actually go between these hoses and wiring harness, just kind of right where we were, and I'm going to plug in the block heater element, and it's only going to go in one way once I find the other terminal. I guess a little easier to do from the bottom. I'm going to try to do it from this way though. So I got a prong and a prong. Let's see if I can get it in. Oh, I think we were successful. It won't go on anymore, and the green collar around it looks all nice and flush. So then the next thing you do is get your first locating tab, push that boy all the way through. I'm going to use two hands to get this, and actually I think I got it. Maybe I can do this as well. I'm going to try to feed this behind the shock tower, spring tower, or whatever you want to call it, and just kind of fish. I saw it flop over here. Fish it around. We got a bunch of locating tabs. There we go. Just pull it all the way through. I guess you could have did this in the very beginning, but you guys can critique the way you're gonna do it when you guys do your own vehicle. So if you continue to follow this harness, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, this white thing, you can. There's another locating tab on the harness that is running right behind that spring pocket. And let's see if I can just work this in. Okay, I actually found it easier to come on this side of the white thing and push it in towards the engine. It just didn't want to go with how I was having it routed on the other side. So you guys can see how I got it going in here now. Next thing, just work your way down the harness. There is no other one except for this one, and the Christmas tree clip is pretty much going to tell you exactly where that one goes, and it is right there. Okay, this next one is right here, and it is going to twang in right here. But before we do that, let's go over the frame. We're going to go like this and go down towards the front of the vehicle. Try to get it to flop back over. You guys see where I'm putting my hand. I'm just going to pull it down right on the other side of this cab mount, like so, and then we're going to go ahead and clip that guy in like that. So we're sitting along the frame like that. Let me go get a new rubber. Alright, so this next one that we're going after is kind of tricky. You guys have the harness. Remember when we ran it all the way in front? of that cab mount, you guys can see the light and this hole that I'm blocking. This trim clip right here, you guys can see, I'm going to show it to you. It's got that black twang on it. Okay, you're going to route that into this hole here in the frame so it comes through just like that. The next one, you guys can see it's right here. Go ahead and turn that around and plug that in, and we're going to continue forward. That next one, okay, so the next one, this gray, this is your next clip. We're going to be going right for this hole right here. I'll go ahead and just push that in, and then we're going to route this over to the front of the vehicle. So we got to go over the frame rail, and we're going to have to weasel it back behind here. I'm going to show you guys which way I went. Okay, so what I did was removed the license plate bracket. It was really no big deal, you guys. You can see it goes through these two here. On the back side, all you have to do is push those tabs up, and this unlatches and pulls straight out. Like you saw in DS's plow video, I did go ahead and removed this bunch of push pins, no big deal, but that also allowed me access behind here. Take the 5 minutes, take the plastic off, let's do it right, let's not be hacks. It is crucial to get each orientating clip in. So you saw the last gray one that we clipped in here, okay? We ran it up and over. Let me see if I can show you right where it went. Okay, so you want to run it right through here in front of the radiator, okay? See if I can give it a jiggle here so you guys can see. Okay, it's that black one right there. I'm running straight along, and then there is a locating tab that it just fell off of right behind right there. That clip goes on like this. There's a piece of plastic just hanging down. Then you come around on the other side and you clip the other one in. Last piece is the one that is actually on the end of the block heater cable, and it goes something like that. Now, if you guys have never installed a block heater cable, I invite you to check out the other videos that I'm going to put a link in the description. If you have a 17, if you have an 11 through 16, pretty much Gen 1, Gen 2, and then we have our new Super Duties 20 and 21, I'm assuming are going to be the same. I am going to put some electrical grease in here. I'm going to put the plastic trim piece back on, but tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. If anybody's ever had to do this at home, or if they paid another technician to install it for them. Remember to like, comment, sub, share, and I'll see you guys all next time.